You can support this podcast for $3 a month at patreon.com/Copytraders Club. Or find me on eToro, username Gavin Macaulay, and add me to a watch list for future content. Thanks for listening. Copytraders Club, where you can learn how to make better decisions and more money copy trading. I'm Gavin Macaulay, my name and username on eToro. My aim as an eToro enthusiast is to demystify this new and uncharted world of copy trading, understand what are the pitfalls and best practices, and how ultimately to succeed as a copy trader. Here we go. Hello, and yes, indeed, it is Copytraders Club Season 3, Episode 19. And joining us today is Christophe Nour. Salut Christophe, bienvenue.
Hi, thank you. Hi, everybody.
Okay, it seems we're going to have to do this one in English. That's disappointing. I was hoping I could français it the whole way through.
Oh, you can. I can. Bonjour, tout le monde.
Okay. All right, so Christophe, this is the first long-form, first-time Popular Investor appearance using StreamYard. So it may be a little disjointed, but we're going to try and recreate the classic Copytraders Club long-form episode that everyone knows and loves over the years, but in this format. So, as you may be aware, in order to get past reception, you have to answer a series of quickfire questions. Are you ready for those?
Yes, looking forward to it.
Username on eToro.
Christophe Nour.
Date you joined eToro.
September 13th, 2022.
Date you became a popular investor.
2 months after that, November 13th, 2022.
Year of birth.
1999.
Place of residence.
Paris, France.
Profession.
Equity research analyst.
Briefly state what you aim to achieve on eToro.
I'd like to beat the market with a concentrated portfolio and educate people in the process.
Name one of your investing heroes.
Charlie Munger.
Name one of your favorite investing books.
Poor Charlie's Almanac. It's Charlie Munger's biography.
Well, that completes the formalities, Christophe. Let's now proceed into our VIP section. This doesn't work when it's on video, but here at the clubhouse, the splendid Copy Traders Lounge. Christophe Nour, are you ready for this magical transition?
Yes, looking forward to it.
This is the point where I would say, here we are now in the lounge, take a seat. We're going to have to work out how we dispense with all this nonsense. Okay, so let's get a little bit of background chat. You're in Paris, France.
Yep.
Are you like downtown Paris or in the banlieue?
I'm in the center of Paris right now. I come from the south of France, a city called Marseille. And if you want to work in finance, you gotta go to Paris because there is no work at the south of France. So after the business school, I went to Paris and I've been there for a couple of months now. So yeah, working at the center, not the banlieue, the center of Paris.
Do you have a southern French accent?
No, I hide it. I try to hide it.
You don't say le lendemain matin?
Le lendemain matin, you. I can
Pierre
say
Papin.
that's jaune, rose. On some words, you can sense a bit of a southern accent, but the rest is fine.
Very good. Well, let's talk about how I came across you, the answer is you reached out to me, and I'm always happy to reward people taking action. So more than happy to have you on. It's fair to say you're not an incredibly high-profile PI at this early stage in your career, but we'll get into that a little bit more. I also watched a bunch of your videos. This is maybe the time where we share the screen, is it? And have a look at your profile on eToro. So there you can see Blue Star, Christophe Nour. I just mentioned your videos. Here's your YouTube channel. As you say, there's been explosive growth. Would you measure explosive growth in percentage increase rather than real number increase?
Oh, that would be more reassuring to talk about percentage. Yeah, we are a small army of maybe 50 people. That's a very small army. So that's still the beginning. So I'm hoping to get more views, but that's only the beginning. So that's okay.
Okay. And you work as a data analyst, you said?
Yeah, like equity research analyst. The point is to analyze businesses to see if they can fit in a portfolio of stocks.
Wow. So this is work and interest outside?
Yeah, that's kind of a passion I had 10 years ago when I was 13, 14, and I stumbled upon stocks and stumbled upon Warren Buffett, Charlie Munger, etc. So on the weekend, I analyze stocks. On the weekdays, I analyze stocks. That's how I get paid, and that's what I like. So life is good.
Very good. All right. So the analysis of businesses is presumably something you're good at. Why don't you help us to get to know you better by telling us something you're very bad at?
I figure out that I'm very bad at selling a position. So the buying process, I think it's easier than the selling process. So in my stock portfolio, I try to not sell. So I set the bar so high so that the business is always increasing its revenue, earnings. The business is always improving so that I don't have to sell. And it's a never sell strategy that makes money so far. I would say that.
Yeah. Come on now. That's like an interview question where you say, oh, my worst habit is I'm a perfectionist. I work really hard. You've told us something you're very bad at is selling stocks, but your strategy is to never sell. What's Warren Buffett's favorite holding time? Forever.
That's forever.
So tell us something you're actually very bad at.
I would say growing a YouTube channel. So far, that the results have not been very good. So yeah, very bad at making content online. I would say that, if you prefer.
Okay. And let's have a question from the art of people. Can you give me a number between 1 and 10 that isn't 7?
Let's go for 8.
I'm going to preface this with, I don't want an answer that's Charlie Munger or Warren Buffett, but other than a member of your family, tell me about your role model, like in real life person.
A real life person. That's a tough one if you don't consider Warren Buffett or Charlie Munger. I would say there is another investor. Almost all my role models are investors. I would say Mohnish in the sense of copying what works in the world. I have like a huge passion for copying other people shamefully to copy something that works and 100% copy what something works. So that's a habit that I have taken a few years ago and I like it. So my role model would be Mohnish in that aspect.
Yeah.
And he has like another tenet, which is brutal honesty. regarding life. Even if he takes the example of going out at the restaurant with his wife, and his wife is asking him, does the dress look good on me? How do I look? And he doesn't think the dress looks good on her. So he has to tell her. So maybe he will spend a bad evening for one day. But in terms of like brutal honesty, now his wife knows that he's 100% honest, and you don't want white lies in your life. So that's painful short term, but the rewards for the long terms are very good.
Very good. The policy of truth, as Depeche Mode once sang. Okay, here's a bit of truth for you. You said shamefully you clone. It should be shamelessly.
Oh, yeah.
Without shame.
Oh, yeah. Shamelessly, yeah. You got the mug Shameless Cloner. So.
I do have the mug Shameless Cloners, but I don't have it in front of me. I showed it to you yesterday when we had to abandon the recording because of bad weather. Okay, Christophe, that's great for part 1.
Okay, good.
Now let's turn our attention to your bio and your pinned post. Have you got your portfolio open in front of you?
I don't.
Can you read what's being shared? Maybe I could make it bigger.
Okay, let me go on full screen. Oh, wow.
Yeah. Why don't you read your paragraphs of your bio that begin with bio and experience down to and including recommendations for the listener?
Yeah. Just one moment. I put the full screen on. I wanted to start the bio with the results because I think it's the most important.
Well, we'll talk about that in a moment, but let's deal with the words first.
Okay. I'll start with the bio and experience. Okay, my name is Christophe Nour, and I'm a French investor with 5+ years of investing experience. The strategy type is long-term equity investor. The strategy description, what I do is very simple. I buy great businesses run by honest managers when they are cheap. If you are looking for a financial wizard with a black box, I'm afraid the search will continue. No leverage, no shorting, no crypto, no fancy things, and no nonsense. The objective of the strategy is to outperform the MSCI World Index over the long run, so 5+ years. Recommendations? Do you want me to read that too? Copy with minimum $200. Copy open positions. Don't put stop loss because volatility is welcome. Recommended time, copy time, preferably 5+ years. My post comments are not investment advice. And there is a link to the YouTube channel.
Okay, very good. So you're hitting all the value investing notes there in terms of time frame, strategy, all of that. So it's a consistent message to anyone who's steeped themselves in the world of value investing. So the first elephant in the room are your results. Now, you've listed here in your long form bio results beginning in 2017. A quick glance, of course, at your eToro stats page shows that begins in September 2022. So what you're doing is letting people know what your results have been prior to eToro. Now, where do these come from, and have eToro verified them?
I want eToro to verify them, and I don't know how for the moment, but that's there are results from brokerage accounts I opened when I turned 18. I'm born in September, so that's why I started in September. The official date was the day I turned 18, and I started investing money immediately. So that's why there is a starting in September. And I don't know yet how eToro can verify. I wish I can get them audited. They are real. I looked on the internet if I could do that, and I didn't find the answer. So maybe I should contact the eToro support to get this. It would be good.
Yeah, no, well, there definitely is a way. One of the first popular investors that I spoke to is in Singapore, Logic Fool, Alan Michael Mullins, and he has historical returns on eToro that appear to have been verified by eToro.
Oh, that's good.
So I'm pretty sure there is a way, or verified by some other independent body that eToro accepts, something like that. I'm not quite sure. Okay, but let's just assume that these are correct.
You have to trust me now.
Yeah, I have to trust you. Copytraders Club will bear no liability if it turns out that these are complete fiction. 2017, starting in September, so little under 1.5%. You had a down year in 2018, 30%, and then the big numbers start to compound. 2019, almost 70%. 2020, almost 64%. 2021, 45, 46%. 2022 was a down year, minus 18%. And then 2023, 13% so far. So if I compare the last little bits of data, should they not be the same as what's on eToro?
For the 2023 year, yeah, that would be 14% so far.
Okay. Yeah, that's pretty close. And then 2022 was minus 18.2, and on eToro. So most of your losses were in the first half of that year, more or less. Okay, that's interesting. And you crown it off with the annualized return, which is always a bit of an, interesting approach, but less suspicious given you're a dyed-in-the-wool value investor who buys good businesses and sits on them. I assume your answer to where did your returns come from in 2019, 2020, and 2021 is not going to be crypto and Tesla and things like that.
Exactly. I don't want to put $1 in crypto and not $1 in Tesla or anything of the hype we have now in AI. That's the kind of boring long-term investing with the good old Apple or other oil companies. No, for the results of 2019, 2020, that came mostly from Apple, and I also bought Google when everybody was panicking at March of 2020. So everybody was selling their stocks, and I wondered, I have to stay home and consume content all day. Google should be a good fit in the portfolio. And there are other buys and sells that typically like old stocks. A company was called TPL, and it was a very good price for 2020 when the oil sector was hated, and it tripled then. So it was like a huge run for this business. But no crypto, no Tesla, and I will not touch crypto or any cryptocurrency or Tesla, especially at the moment with high valuations.
Yeah. Okay. I believe that. Okay, let's move on. Risk score. I'm looking here at your risk score. It's sort of middle of the road, 4, max 5, something around that. Probably 4 would be the overriding number. Is that fair? Does your risk score just reflect that you're a pretty steady guy who doesn't do too much but has a concentrated portfolio? Do you think that is what contributes to your risk score being sort of middle?
Yeah, I think the risk score on eToro is about 4 or 5, so that's reasonable. I don't think the investment I make will go to a high risk score because there is not a lot of volatility, or maybe the concentration will be an issue someday. But at the moment, that's a fair. I don't know how you can get to 1 or 2 as a risk score.
Well,
with very low.
Very few people
maybe.
can. Your erstwhile, or well, he's still your compatriot, but Forex wizard Olivier Donvel. Don't know if you're aware of him.
Yeah,
he had a very low risk score, but that's a can of worms we're not going to get into right now. What else? Copier numbers and assets under copy. Copier numbers, I think we're setting a new record here for Copytraders Club. I think you have the most humble copier number. Would you like to tell the listener what it is?
8. The number of copiers is 8.
8
people.
copiers. Okay, and under 50k. So, it's early days. You haven't even completed a year yet. So you're a young, fresh-faced cadet, popular investor.
Yeah, that's the point. That's the point.
Trades per week and average holding time. Bet they tell the same story. Trades per week 0.46, average holding time 5.5 months. I'm sure the reality is you're going to tell me it's much longer than that, but these are the eToro stats. But as far as eToro stats go, this paints the picture of a value investor who holds for a long time.
Yeah, so far of all of the things I have bought in the portfolio, I think I have not sold one stock. So 5.5 months is since I started buying the stuff I have in the portfolio. But it's I still have on my personal brokerage account the Apple stock I bought in 2018. So 5 years. You can put average time of 2 to 3 years. That would be more correct.
Okay, and why don't you tell us what your posting approach is on eToro?
For the moment, I would say that I'm still learning how to post on eToro, and I looked at the big accounts, what they do, and I try to copy them shamelessly. And some are trying to post every day, a couple of times a day. Some are doing a weekly update. So I'm doing what I can, and I try to post things maybe every week, or I try to interact with other PIs on the platform. I try to respond to comments. The main differentiator, I would say, is the video format. I've done maybe 10 years of editing. I like to make movies for fun with friends. So I like the video format of doing an update every month, every week, or a book review. So anything I can get my hands around, I will post it on YouTube and do a post on eToro. But the video format is definitely what I prefer. I don't know how to write on eToro so far. I see a lot of different contents, and most of the contents on the feed you can get, like the people who are posting every day are mostly traders. They can discuss their performance every day, and that's not the point of our portfolio. So I assume having a weekly, or even better, a monthly update of the portfolio is better for my copiers. I don't want them to watch the portfolio constantly to be shocked when something is happening. So I think a monthly update is good. Maybe not enough for the eToro algorithm. So I'm still learning in this field.
As viewers of this video cast can see, I've also moved over to your YouTube channel just to get a flavor of your YouTube videos. Again, this has only been going for 6 months, so it's in its early stages. And your videos are your presentation of your eToro account, and then you do some sort of general responses to what's happening in the market. There's a few of those. There's you began, didn't you, to do monthly? Where are the monthly videos? Did I see monthly reviews?
Oh yeah, I removed them from the title. They are on the thumbnail directly. So you got March, April, and May. That's the monthly review of the portfolio.
Okay. Yes, so your first video I watched, your presentation, eToro account, where you talk about how you like to call it a fund. It's a fund. eToro don't like that, I think. They don't like the term fund. They don't want PIs to be considered fund managers. Somebody should tell Zek. But yeah, I think there's issues with that sort of the definition of what that is, and compliance, I think, aren't terribly keen. There's videos here. Oh no, it wasn't videos. I saw on one of your videos you show a series of fun photographs where you meet a bunch of your heroes. People like Guy Spear, Li Lu, Mohnish Pabrai. So you're a proper value investor fanboy. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, I'm a fanboy of the value investing group. I went to Omaha, Nebraska to see the Berkshire Hathaway annual meeting last year, and I will definitely go next year. So yeah, I'm a fanboy. I like to take pictures with my heroes. They are still alive, so why not? And God is inviting me for free to come and see him as a 93-year-old man. So yeah, why not? There were 50,000 people in Nebraska for this week, and you have a lot of big names of big investors in here. So that's good.
Do they just pose for selfies with people all day long, or did you get a chance to talk to any of them?
Yeah,
did you say, Li Lu, I've got a very important question I need to ask? Or
oh no, you have to catch them. At the beginning for Li Lu especially, he's very low profile guy. So you have at the beginning of the meeting, I was sit and waiting for the event to happen, and I saw a line forming. A line, and at the top of the line you had Mohnish Pabrai. At the end of another line, like 5 meters further, you had a line with Guy Spear at the end, and people taking pictures of him. And you have like a group of people with Li Lu. So I said to my friends, okay, let's go. Let's take a picture. Let's go to the line. And we went to the line. And that was like some sprint events. We ran so fast this day. It was great. And we took pictures with some of them. No question. It's so intense. And I couldn't even speak out of the stress, because I wanted the pictures with all of them. So yeah, I was focused, and my brain was not active for questions at this moment. That was like pictures.
So your knees were going weak. Your mouth was dry. It was like, for some people, it's meeting Michael Jordan or Ronaldo. For you, it's like, oh, Guy Spear, be still, my beating heart.
That's exactly what happened. I said, thank you. And that's it. Oof, another picture, another guy. And actually, when I went to the airport to go back to Paris, I saw Mohnish Pabrai. He was like in front of me, checking his bag. So I had the opportunity to talk with him. And I was in Paris for only a few months for an internship at the time last year. So I didn't know Paris very much. And he said, where do you come from? I said, okay, Paris. Oh, I know Paris. I went with Guy Spear last month. And we started to talk about Paris for maybe 5 minutes. And my knowledge of Paris at the time was so poor. He knew Paris more than I. Mm-hmm. So that was an awkward moment of French boy not knowing his own city, and an Indian guy knowing more than me. So yeah, humiliating moment, but I loved it. And that was good. And at the airport, everybody was taking pictures with him. Like, it was crazy. It's the Fine Boy week. That's insane.
Yeah, it's a strange development that I saw somebody cornering Guy Spear once and saying, Guy Spear, big fan. And he sort of laughed in response, like, a big fan. You know, what he does is sort of the dullest thing in the world. You know, he just sits and reads books and, you know, researches. And people are coming up to him and saying, oh, big fan. But I love what you do.
Yep.
The thing that annoyed me about his book was he goes on about how, you know, about being a wonderful person and contributing to the earth. And, you know, that's what we should all do. And through investing, I've learned how to be, not just make money, but just be a better person. And then I finished the book and my heart was warm. And then I went to check his portfolio. It's full of all the big bastard banks, you know, criminal enterprises. Very disappointed.
Yeah, maybe this is because he started his career with a bad investment bank with a bad reputation, and there is kind of a mental scar in it with it was like BH Blair, something like this.
Yeah.
And it was a first job, big company, very bad reputation, and that's maybe why he is so into being a good person, good morality, good ethics.
So he says.
Oh yeah, and you're arguing about his big bank's positions.
Well, I expected his portfolio to be full of some slightly warm and fluffy companies or something.
Oh
but
yeah.
All I saw was the criminal enterprises that are big banks.
It's another debate of the ESG now.
Well, that's a whole nother story.
Yeah.
Let's get into your portfolio after this.
Do you copy?
Do you copy?
Do you copy?
Do you copy? Copytraders Club.
Copytraders Club.
Do you copy?
Do you copy?
Do you copy?
Do you copy?
Copytraders Club.
Copytraders Club.
Did the music go weird for you there?
Yeah, a bit weird, but that's fine.
Yeah. The problem is I pressed play on the music and then I went to open the page of your portfolio. And as it was opening the page, it seemed to slow the music.
Mm.
I don't know if that'll come through in the recording. If it doesn't, we will sound crazy. Okay, let's turn our attention to your portfolio. Broad brush description of your portfolio, asset classes. That's not hard. Stocks 100%.
Yeah.
Cash position just under 20%. I'm assuming 100% cash is the norm. Is 20% or so? No, 100% stocks is the norm. Is 20% cash the norm?
After 2022, yes, I would like to have some cheap price so I can go down to 10% of cash. And I'm still waiting for opportunities to occur. But yeah, that's I'm very comfortable with the portfolio where it is right now. So 20% is very good.
Okay, and let's have a quick look then at your portfolio. I need to make sure this is visible for the viewer. Biggest position is Occidental Petroleum. Invested column 29.09%. Value column 27.85%. That makes me ask, is that not too big a position? Are you not restricted on individual positions to the 20% maximum?
To get a correct risk score? Or
well, I think it's an eToro guideline for popular investors.
I saw the guideline, and at the beginning, I did not have 30% of the portfolio on Oxy. But as the price dropped, and as Warren Buffett was still buying the stock, and he kept buying and buying, I said, God is buying something. I have to pay attention to it. And I paid attention to it and liked what I saw. So I put a little bit more money on it. The thing is, it will, I think, go down to 25 and then 20% for this year. That's my best guess. And yeah, 30% is a lot right now. If other things on my portfolio go up, it will go down. That's my best guess. I'm not worried about the big position right now. It will slowly decrease and be into the guidelines.
Okay. So let's run through your largest positions. Occidental Petroleum, just under 30%. I'm only going to quote the invested column stats. Williams-Sonoma, 13.5%. Louisiana Pacific Corp, almost 9%. Baba, 8%. And Pool Corp, 7.16%. Now, because you've got such a concentrated portfolio, there are only 4 other assets in there, so I may as well mention those. Brookfield Corp, 4.5%. Meta, 4.5%. Google, 2.25%. And Ally Financial, 1.34%. As of today, only Ally Financial, your smallest position, is in the red. That's always satisfying. If you're going to have some red, have it down there.
Yeah.
Okay, so you said somewhere, I'm not afraid to be a contrarian. You hear that a lot in investing terms. You read all your books and it's, oh yes, be a contrarian, be a contrarian. You watch all those videos, oh, be a contrarian, be a contrarian. Everyone in the world of value investing thinks they're a contrarian. And you talk about these people as God. When I look down through your portfolio, I have pictures of faces flashing up in front of me for each position as to who owns them. So I would understand the contrarian claim if you held something very rare, you know, like something nobody else has. Corporate Travel Management Holdings on the Australian ASX. I'd be like, wow, he's a contrarian. Nobody on eToro owns this. Where did he find this thing from? So that's the question. How contrarian is it to be a cloner and to own similar companies to other value investing fanboys?
Yeah, when I said I'm not afraid to be a contrarian, I'm not referring to the value investing sphere, because everybody here is a contrarian. I can't be a contrarian to a whole group of contrarian people. So we are on the same group, so that's okay to share similar. That's normal. Contrarian to, for example, now everybody hates Chinese equities, and the sentiment for China is very bad, and nobody wants to invest in Chinese stocks. He's afraid of Xi Jinping. Having Alibaba in the portfolio, I think, is a contrarian. Though you can argue Charlie Munger is a contrarian because he has also bought Alibaba, but I'm not a contrarian to Charlie Munger because we both have Alibaba on our portfolio. So yeah. If you look at hedge funds, etc., that their exposure to China and Chinese equity, they are all fearful at the moment, and that's why the faith in God's Munger and God's Buffett is big. It gives me courage to be a contrarian when I know that God Munger owns Alibaba in the portfolio. Also, it's the same for home improvement, home-related stocks like Williams-Sonoma, the second largest position of the portfolio. Sorry. Now everybody thinks that we will have a housing collapse, etc. So yeah, I can say that I'm a contrarian to have this as a second largest stock in the portfolio. And you can say the same with Oxy, for example. I know Warren Buffett owns it and loves it. And at the same time, everybody thinks that the oil sector had a very good year, a great year in 2021. Now let's go back to normal. We have recession fears, so oil price will go down. Warren Buffett is doing a contrarian move, buying the stock. So I'm doing a contrarian move, buying the stock too. That's the definition of contrarian. I don't know if I was.
Yeah, no, I get you. You're a contrarian vis-a-vis the greater investing community, but you're very much not a contrarian when it comes to your pocket of that, your pocket of value investors.
Yeah, exactly. Some of the ideas, the idea generation comes from this value investing group. So I don't think I'm a contrarian to this value investing group. I would say I'm a contrarian to.
Are you very interested in 13F season then, when you can see what all these guys have just sold? And then do you spring into action and do the same? Or, that's the problem with cloning, is there's such a time lag between purchases and sales, and there's always the risk that you don't actually know what you're buying because, how can I go wrong? God has bought it, So, sorry, that was the disrespectful thing to do, put on your accent. But, you know what I mean? That's the problem I have with it, and I've done that too in the past. And I've learned that was a mistake for me to do that because, I thought there was an element of security about it because Pabrai had bought something. But it turned out not to be the case, and I maybe didn't know everything I needed to know. Are you not concerned about that?
Yeah, the 13F season is great, and I love it. And you have a lot of ideas coming. Some investors are buying, selling stuff. That's the first screening process. If you see for example, you see Mohnish buying Brookfield at the most recent 13F. That's the first screening. Okay, that comes into my vision. The second step is to analyze the business. Do I understand it? You have a lot of FinCo, the services companies, SaaS companies that come into the 13F, the Salesforce, etc. I don't understand them. I'm too dumb for this, so I stay away. It's not because one big guru invests in something that I will 100% invest in it. That's the first step of the process. After that, I try to understand the business. If I don't, I just move over. And the third step is to analyze. The fourth step would be to analyze the price of it. And if it's cheap, I buy. So that's some copycat. And the 13F season, it's much more about the first step of the screening process. I don't follow blindly what the gods are telling me. There are a lot of stocks in Warren Buffett's portfolio that I don't understand at all. So I just stay away from them.
Yeah. Yeah, just looking at the companies you hold, none of them are jumping out as incredibly complex situations. Okay, very good. Why don't you tell us about your best and worst investment?
The best investment is the most simple one. It's buying Apple in 2018. There was some drama about the China sales. The stock plunged 30%. Buffett had bought it in the portfolio. It wasn't a portfolio, but the sentiment was mixed results. How can Apple grow above 1 trillion as market cap? And the best investment was just holding this. And this copycat formula, sometimes it fails, but sometimes it works very good. And this would be the best investment. It's the most simple one. An 8-year-old could do what I did. But that's the best so far in terms of percentage. So I have to say that. The worst was totally different. It was also a tech stock. It was buying Netflix in 2018 because of the hype, because of the FOMO, the fear of missing out. And I said, everybody loves the stock. The stock is going up and up and up and up. I know the business well, and it's okay about paying an expensive price. The PE ratio was 200. Now if you ask me, would I buy it at a P of 200? Absolutely not. But that was the beginning. I was 18 years old. And that's the worst mistake. I burned so many times with this stock. I bought it at 380. And now I lost 50%, and now went up again. But that's lost money, and I lost some years with it. So I paid a huge price for this lesson of buying too much expensive PE.
A quick look through your videos shows me that PE ratio is a pillar of your investing. You talk about it a lot. It comes up all the time. Is that like the guiding light of ratios for you?
I don't like complex ratios. You can see the EV/EBITDA, EV/EBIT, etc., sales, and you can approximate everything. You can calculate and adjust everything, and the companies are doing that in their reports. They are adjusted EBITDA, adjusted EBIT, adjusted numbers, etc. I just see the earnings at the end of the year or the cash flows at the end of the year. And I would say, price to free cash flow and price to earnings are the most telling. Yes, you can twist them. You can have an excellent year, so the earnings will be up and the PE ratio will be very down for this year, and then will normalize. But if you take a longer time horizon, 5 years, 7 years, 10 years, then you can have an idea of the business. I prefer to have a rough idea of the price it is paying rather than being exactly correct on the PE ratio for this year. It's just to have a rough idea. If the business is trading at 30 times earnings or 15, that's okay. I just want to know if it's between 15 or 35 or 55, just to get a rough idea. But PE ratio is very helpful in this case. And PE ratio and price to free cash flow are the two metrics for valuation that I look the most.
Again, I'm hearing a few little jumps in the music. Hope that's not being recorded. Let's move on to your copiers. I've just put your username up on the screen at Christophe Nour, if anyone's interested to check you out. And if they are, maybe you can help us along with that by telling us who should copy you.
If somebody wants to join the army of 8 copiers, the people who should copy me would be people who want to invest money in a simple way without cryptos or derivatives, without the hype. Also, people that want to learn more about the process of investing, because in the YouTube channel, I share what I think about the stocks, how I analyze businesses, etc. And also people that like the old school value investing and holding them for the long term. So the fans of Warren Buffett and other gurus. That would be the main target of the audience.
And the other side of the coin, who shouldn't copy you?
I would say if you expect some big gains from crypto, don't copy me. If you want somebody that will invest for the short-term trading activities, don't copy me. And if you like the hype and you like the high entertainment every day, every couple of hours, don't copy me. Don't copy me. You will be very sad if you copy me. That will be very boring for you.
Yeah, I think there's some entertainment in copying you, but it wouldn't come from the investing activity. It would come from your videos. Your videos are, I have to say, the editing and the quality of production is very good. And in some of them, where you make that effort, the little catch-ups where you're sitting in your chair and poor Charlie's almanac is in the background, they're quite simple. But some of your other videos are pretty snazzy.
Yeah, I'm trying to find a good style for the moment. I did not have the time to do the editing at the beginning of the channel, so it was like press record, talk, and press again, and that's it.
That's how you learn.
And
you just got to start.
I said to myself, okay, I saw the stats, I saw the retention on YouTube, and everybody was dropping out of the video after 1 minute. I said, I need to be a little bit more entertaining, to have some editing, some text maybe. And I'm trying different formats, some Zoom. I'm a visual guy, so I need graphics, I need visuals. I'm trying to make the best videos I can if I were on the other side of the deal. So if I wanted to watch, to copy somebody, a French guy, and he has a YouTube channel, what videos would I want to watch? And this is the video. I'm slowly approaching to this goal of having like good visuals with a nice song and some text, because I'm a very visual guy. The graphics, okay, what happened in the news, what are the stocks in your portfolio, etc. And I try to be a little bit entertaining in the editing, because nobody wants to get bored watching a YouTube video. So yeah, that's the style that is changing. And I don't know, I will maybe in 6 months it will change again. I'll go back to the boring stuff from the beginning. I don't know.
Is it worth doing videos in French?
I thought about it a lot. It's a niche audience. When I talk to eToro, to my friends, nobody knows eToro in France. So I don't know if having a French YouTube channel is worth it. I tried to
or just mix it up. You don't have to have a French YouTube channel, but here's a video in French, here's one in English. Not every video, just here and there.
I contacted a YouTube channel that girls that does this in Italian. It's in English and Italian, and it's the same video, but just you can press record 2 times and that's it. I don't know if it's good for the YouTube algorithm to have like a copycat video and the same pictures and etc. I don't know if it's good to grow your audience. And I said I kind of analyzed the market of France and eToro and finance in France. And it's so tiny, so small. So I'd rather stay with English. And I think that on YouTube, you can dub your own videos. So you just have the same visual, same video, but you can click on a different language and you can sub your own videos in French. So maybe I will do that in the future. I think it's only available for big YouTubers. If you have a few million subscribers, we are not far from here. So I'm hopeful.
Okay. So big changes coming in a couple of months once you get to that level. Okay. If you were a copy trader, what would your approach be to copying?
I would say I'm still new to the platform. I've been here for 6 months, so I'm still learning in the process. But if I wanted to copy other people, I would make sure that I trust the other person. I would check everything that he or she wrote on the feed
including their results historically.
Oh yeah, you you start with the results first. Okay, is she or he good at the game of investing or not? Because you can talk, but if the results are not here, I'm not interested. And I will read and watch everything that she or he has made in the past, since the beginning of the account, the creation of the account. And the behavior, I would say, is very important. First is the results, and the behavior is very important. You want somebody with a good temperament, with the fear of missing out that I mentioned with Netflix. I don't want the person to be fearful in March 2020 when everybody was selling their stocks. Oh, the world is crashing. 10% of the population will die. I want somebody to be very rational and make good decisions with money. So the temperament will be good. And you can see that clearly in the posts that the person is writing. So I would say, you check the whole background track record of the person, the results, and then you can never know if somebody will leave eToro or something. So I will not allocate 100% of my money into 1%, and maybe have 2 or 3 people in the portfolio. You can never know. Somebody's having a child and leaves eToro. So you you got 1%. That's too bad. So maybe I will have a concentrated portfolio of 2 or 3 PIs and check their track record with great details. And no stop loss. I completely trust them for the long term.
Okay, what other popular investor would you say you know best on a personal level?
On a personal level, not many. When I joined eToro and became a popular investor, I ranked every popular investor that were French. So the popular investor that had more copiers than me. So almost everybody. And I contacted every French PI on Twitter, LinkedIn, whatever you like, to have advice. How to start, how to grow an audience. Should I post regularly? How did you start? Okay. And I asked for advice, and I had some good calls and good recommendation from them. So thank you if you're watching this video.
Oh, I didn't think that's how that would end. I thought you were going to say nobody answered you.
Oh, no.
I was going to say those French, there may be some liberté and égalité, but very little fraternité.
That's you never know. You can be surprised with French people.
Oh, that's nice. I'm glad they helped.
Yeah, I was pretty surprised, but people are more nice than expected. They are nicer than expected, so that's good. And I had some good calls and advice from Alexandre Ilouz, who has 600 copiers. Good advice too with Pierre-Olivier Lafont, who has 450 copiers, and Gauthier Peignet, who has 40 copiers. So a big shout out and thank you to the 3 of them.
Very good. Okay, well, we're coming up on the hour, Christophe, so I think it's time for the final question. Let me see if it's been a while since I asked this final question. Let me see if I can phrase it correctly. What's the one question that you wish I'd asked during this conversation that I haven't?
I know I have a very small account, but I'd like you to ask the question, will you go to Dubai for the PI meeting in November?
Okay, consider that question asked.
I think so. Okay. Now that I'm in the podcast, I want to learn, I want to improve, and I want to meet some other people that have succeeded in this platform. So I think I will be in Dubai in November to learn more about how it works, etc. That would be very fun. And Dubai, I've never been to Dubai, so that's some good trip.
Well, I like your approach. You know, you're taking it seriously. You're treating it like somebody would as a business. You're researching it. How do I succeed? You're contacting people who've done well. Try and get some tips. You're reaching out to people. You've made it on here with the grand number of 8 copiers. The pinnacle that is Copytraders Club. And now you're going to go and invest in yourself to go to the PI meetup in Dubai. It's a commendable approach, I would say.
That's some shameless cloning. I just copy. That's the same approach that I have for investing. It's the same for real life. So I just contact every PI I can get in touch with and copy everything they did good. That's
very good. Consistent approach on eToro, as in life. Christophe Nour, it's been wonderful to chat to you. Thank you for dropping by Copytraders Club.
Thank you for inviting me. It was good. Very good.
That's all from me. See you on Discord and Facebook. Until next time we meet at Copytraders Club, I wish you many happy returns. Obviously, anything you hear in this podcast is for entertainment only, not financial advice. Do your own research. This is just generic chit-chat. We don't know your individual circumstances, etc., and so forth.